From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, March the 3rd, 2025. An Israeli man was killed and 4 others injured in what appears to have been a terror attack this morning in Haifa. Israel police said at approximately 9:50 a.m., Israel local time, a terrorist carried out a stabbing attack at Lev HaMifrat station, injuring 4 civilians, 3 of them seriously. The man who was killed was identified by Hebrew media as a 70-year-old Arab Israeli from northern Israel. The terrorist, who was neutralized at the scene, was identified by the IDF as an Israeli Druze who had recently returned from abroad. His family saying that he suffered from mental illness and expressed their shock at the attack. Former Israeli hostage Itzik El-Garat was laid to rest today at kibbutz near Oz, from where he was abducted to Gaza by Palestinian terrorists during the October 7th Hamas massacre, and later murdered in Hamas captivity. His remains returned to Israel last Thursday. Thousands stood along the route of his funeral procession to pay their final respects. And former hostage Shlomo Mansour, whose remains were also returned last Thursday, were laid to rest yesterday, at his home kibbutz of Kisufim. Mansour was murdered on October the 7th during the Hamas massacre, his body kidnapped to Gaza. Thousands lined the roads to pay their last respects during his funeral procession. Israel's President Isaac Herzog spoke at Mansour's funeral and told the family, whom he had met during the over 500 days that Mansour was captive, "You fought with all your might for his return, and we were all with you, admiring you, supporting you. And today we are all with you in your heartbreak and grief." Herzog told the kibbutz community, "I know with full confidence, with all my heart, that you will rise from the ashes and the dust, that you will grow, that you will flourish, and that you will rebuild." Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu held a security discussion Saturday night with Israel's Minister of Defense and other senior officials and Israel's negotiating team that has been working on the ceasefire hostage release agreement, and said the following steps were agreed upon during that discussion. He said Israel adopts the framework of President Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff for a temporary ceasefire for the Ramadan and Passover period, according to which on the first day of his framework, half of the hostages will be released in one phase. At the end of the framework, if agreement is reached, the remaining hostages will be released, also in one phase. Prime Minister saying while Israel has agreed to the Witkoff framework, Hamas has so far clung to its refusal and has not agreed to the framework. Netanyahu said if Hamas changes its position, Israel will immediately enter into negotiations on implementing the framework, adding if Hamas thinks that it will be possible to continue the ceasefire or benefit from the terms of the first stage without us receiving hostages, it is sorely mistaken. The 59 hostages who remain held captive in Gaza have now been held for 514 days. Well, turning now to some good news as we wish a hearty Mazal Tov to the outstanding Yeshiva University men's basketball team and coaching staff on their Skyline Conference Championship victory. Yesterday, Sunday, March the 2nd, the Maccabees overcame a 16-point deficit to defeat Farmingdale State College 81-78, securing their first conference title since 2021. Led by Captain Zevi Samet, the Conference Player of the Year, the junior scored 37 points and clinched the win with a clutch three-pointer in the final seconds, earning him Skyline Conference Tournament MVP honors. It's been a joy and privilege to watch these outstanding student athletes compete. And as the season comes to a close, we extend our gratitude to Max Live, the student-run team that made it possible for JBS viewers to experience another year of thrilling games, and to Janet and Lior Hod and family for their generous support. We also want to wish the YU Max Behatzlacha good luck as they advance to the NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Tournament, which begins on March the 20th in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, March the 3rd at 7 o'clock. FIDF Steve Weil speaks with the lead scientist behind the development of the groundbreaking Iron Dome missile defense system, RAFAEL rocket scientist Ari Sacher. At 8, Abigail Pogrebin speaks with author Francine Klagsbrun to discuss her book on the life and legacy of Hadassah founder and Zionist icon Henrietta Szold. At 8:30, Eric Goldman speaks with Guy Nattiv, director of Golda, the 2023 film that depicts the life of Golda Meir. At 9, it's Nancy Spielberg on L'chaim. At 10:30, an encore of the news. And coming up next, it's Good Week, Israel. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, March the 3rd, 2025. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.